This is Night City, the most dangerous, chaotic and unpredictable place on Earth. But what if I told you it's also the happiest? Crazy, right? Think about it. Corruption means freedom, betrayal keeps life exciting, and constant danger, that's the price of truly feeling alive. In this video, I'll show you why everything that's wrong with Night City might just be what makes it the happiest city in the world. And by the end, you might just rethink what happiness really means. So let's talk about shelter. Night City is situated in what corresponds to real-life California, a region renowned for its incredibly favorite climate. What does that mean for its residents? Well, it's been scientifically proven that people tend to feel happier and more content in warmer climates. Sunshine and mild weather can significantly improve mood and well-being, which boosts serotonin levels, a natural mood enhancer. Plus, there's a practical advantage here. Those who are homeless in Night City, while still facing harsh challenges, are far less likely to freeze to death compared to colder regions. In a world as unforgiving as Cyberpunk's, having the warmth of the sun can literally be a lifesaver. In short, the climate is a mood booster and a lifesaver, even for those on the streets. Night City is all about thrill and escape. Whether you're a corpo, a merc, or just another gonk trying to survive, entertainment is everywhere if you have the eddies. From brain dances that feel too real, to nightclubs where you can drown your sorrows in synthetic whiskey, to amusement parks in Pacifica where half of the rides decide when your day ends. This city never slows down. Consumerism isn't just alive here, it's on steroids. Major brands like Jinguji cater to the rich, the stylish, and anyone desperate enough to show that they've made it. And whatever hobby or indulgence you're after, if you can dream it, you can find it here for the right price.
It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
So what does this wild, chaotic city look like through the eyes of someone just trying to get by? Let's meet Ray, a 27-year-old delivery runner who knows the madness of Night City better than most, and who swears they've got the best gig in Night City. And honestly, who wouldn't be happy in their shoes? Ray starts their day with a high-energy coffee, brewed in a machine that only malfunctions when the rent's overdue. Their apartment? A cozy 4 square meter capsule, offers all the essentials, a bed, a shower, and just enough space to dodge falling ceiling panels. Ray proudly explains their plan to expand the space using galvanized square steel once he learns the crafting blueprint. The first gig of the day, delivering a mystery package to a corpo fixer in Japantown. Sure, the recipient's bodyguards might hold you at gunpoint if you're 5 minutes late, but Ray doesn't sweat it. As they say, a job's a job. And hey, the tips are decent. Last week, someone gave them a bottle of real still water as a bonus. Ray chuckles. I could have flipped it for 99 eddies, but I drank it. Worth every drop. At midday, the highlight of Ray's day comes. The announcement of the Night City mayoral election results. The winner, a blonde with sky-high ambitions and larger-than-life speeches. The campaign was wild, with slogans like "Make Night City bigger again," plastered across every hollow board in the city. In their victory speech, the new mayor unveils a bold and baffling plan to expand Night City's territory to the north by invasion. The crowd erupts into cheers as the mayor also promises to buy an entire state from the NUSA, claiming it will secure Night City's future greatness. Adding to the spectacle, a South African supporter responsible for the rockets on Moro Rock delivers an impassioned speech and ends with a salute so awkward it spawns 3 new conspiracy theories overnight, declaring that this mayor will bring Night City's greatness to the entire world. Ray shakes his head, muttering, "Only in this city." But hey, this is Night City. Ray ends their day with a visit to their favorite Joy Toy on Jig Jig Street. They don't even think twice as they hand over their entire day's earnings. A mere few seconds later, Ray steps out, looking satisfied and ready to crash. Back home, in their tiny 4 square meter capsule, Ray collapses onto the bed, muttering to himself, "Worth it. Tomorrow, it all starts again. Just another day in the happiest city on earth." And so, Ray ends the day like any proud Night City resident, broke, satisfied, and ready to do it all again. But why does someone like Ray still swear this is the best place on earth? To answer that, we need to talk about happiness. To truly understand why Night City might be the happiest city in the world, we first need to define happiness itself. What is happiness? Psychologists and philosophers often describe it as a state of well-being, characterized by positive emotions such as joy, satisfaction, and a sense of purpose. But here's where it gets interesting. Happiness isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. For example, hedonic happiness, where pleasure and the absence of discomfort take center stage. Hedonic comes from the Greek word hedone, meaning pleasure or a delight. It's all about living in the moment, maximizing enjoyment and minimizing pain. Think of it as a philosophy of instant gratification, flashy cyberware, material wealth, and brain dances, for example. In Night City, this hedonistic lifestyle is everywhere. People chase sensory pleasures and escapism to survive the chaos, turning every thrill into a way to forget what's broken. For others, happiness goes beyond fleeting pleasures. It's about purpose, growth, and living a meaningful life. This is called eudaimonic happiness, a concept from ancient Greek philosophy that means human flourishing or living well. Aristotle described it as becoming the best version of yourself by living a virtuous and purpose-driven life. In Night City, this is the kind of happiness you see in characters fighting for something bigger than themselves. Some people find happiness in something deeper. Rebellion, or loyalty to ideals, or relationships that rise above the chaos of the city. Take Johnny Silverhand, for example. His happiness comes from fighting for a cause, even when it costs him everything. In Night City, happiness is deeply personal, shaped by who you are and what you're willing to fight for. This mix of fleeting pleasures and deeper purpose is exactly what makes Night City so unique, a place where every resident defines happiness on their own terms. But this raises an interesting question. If happiness is relative, then who in the Cyberpunk universe could possibly have it better than those in Night City, especially now that we know it is full of it? True civilization, as we imagine it, is kind of a rarity. Cities that remain functional are often propped up by mega corporations, leaving governments weak and reliant on corporate interests. Outside these urban centers, vast stretches of land are usually lawless. The Cyberpunk universe is a true dystopia. Let's take Dubai as an example, and I quote, "Dubai, sand and death. I heard a troubling click. My Geiger counter. May it rest in peace. I stood on a glass surface, some parts smooth as ice, others cracked and jagged. The earth I walked on was formed from melted sand after a thermonuclear bomb detonated here. One of the 5 that fell on Dubai. Few dare venture outside without a hazmat suit, makeshift or otherwise. Any sort of dwelling must be built with concrete walls, measuring at least 13 feet thick, and without a single window. This offers survival, yes, but to what end? The average life expectancy in all Dubai is a mere 30 years. Still, some have found advantages to life here. No visitors. Neither Netwatch nor any corporate special forces unit will deploy here. This land of glass and dust has become asylum for some of the world's most wanted criminals. Some say they are only biding their time until an early death delivers them to hell. Some say they are already there." End of quote. Now tell me, does Night City feel so bad now? When it comes to safety, Night City isn't too different from real-life cities like Chicago. Both are infamous for their high crime rates and dangerous streets. Walking through the streets of Night City, sure, could also be dangerous at times, but it can also be a walk in the park, so to speak. We can see people going out about their day, markets where people come and buy and socialize with each other, friendly street vendors, cafes. It is definitely not all about the gang violence or corporate abuse, and just like any big city, it has its flaws. People in Night City might seem tough, but they're quick to strike up a conversation at a noodle stand or help out a neighbor. We see throughout the game that the people who live here do not give up easily and are still motivated to live a good life. And now that we've explored how Night City fosters both pleasure and meaning, let's see how these ideas play out in the lives of its people, starting with the man, the legend, Jackie Wells. Born on May 26, 2046 in Night City's Haywood, Jackie came up in a rough household. His father was abusive, and the day Jackie was big enough to fight back was the day his dad disappeared for good. From then on, Jackie poured his heart into two things: family and the dream of a better life. Although he joined the Valentinos as a teen, a near-fatal gunshot wound at 19 convinced him to leave the gang life for his mother's sake. Jackie's optimism stands out in Night City's sea of cynicism, who jokes mid-heist like the next big payday is always around the corner.
That's like some divine comedy shit.
He's that rare soul who actually believes in loyalty over eddies, friendship over double crosses. No matter which life path you pick, nomad, street kid or corpo, Jackie becomes V's partner and trusted friend. Together, you take on high stakes gigs, eventually landing a job to steal the relic for Dexter Deshawn. But Night City has a cruel sense of humor. When things go sideways at Konpeki Plaza, Jackie pays the ultimate price, bleeding out in a Delamain cab before ever reaching his dreams of living large. In the aftermath, players get to decide whether Jackie's body goes back to his family or off to Victor's. Depending on your choice, you learn about Arasaka's dark interest in his remains. He had big dreams, a big heart, and a knack for finding the silver lining. And in the end, Jackie reminds us that sometimes the pursuit of a better life, no matter how short, is what truly defines us. But to understand why people like Jackie hold on to hope in such a chaotic world, we need to look back at how Night City itself came to be. It all started with Richard Knight, a visionary businessman who in the early 1990s dreamed of a new kind of city, one free from crime, poverty, and the government red tape tearing the world apart. Backed by corporate heavyweights like Arasaka, EBM, and Petrochem, Knight began constructing what was initially called Coronado City in 1994. By 1998, after Richard was tragically assassinated, the city was renamed to Night City in his honor. Things took a dark turn once Knight was gone. Organized crime and gangs exploited the power vacuum, and for years, mob bosses ruled the urban sprawl. Meanwhile, corporations started waging covert wars to wrestle back control. It wasn't until the 2010s that the corporations fully emerged victorious, transforming Night City into a corporate stronghold. Megacorps and the local government shared power, harsh but functional. The fourth corporate war from 2021 to 2023 nearly destroyed Night City. A nuclear device detonated at the Arasaka Tower, an event now called the Night City Holocaust, flattened the corporate district, left hundreds of thousands dead or displaced, and blanketed the region in toxic debris. Despite its devastation though, Night City survivors refused to quit. Over the next few decades, led by private funding and nomad clans, they reclaimed the rubble, turning it into prime real estate. By the 2060s and the 2070s, as a newly recognized free city, Night City had re-established itself as a major global hub with neon megastructures, advanced transit lines, and an ever-growing population. And when you look at it, it doesn't look that bad. The city boasts advanced transit systems like the N-Cart and the spaceport on Mororok, ensuring connectivity unlike anywhere else in the world. And there's always talk of upgrading the transcontinental maglev, proving the city invests in public convenience. Night City is also legally autonomous, answering neither to North California nor the NUSA. And if you still doubt that Night City takes care of its own, just look at Trauma Team. They're not your run-of-the-mill ambulance service. They roll in with heavily armored AVs, paramedics armed to the teeth, and the promise to reach you in minutes. You've also got the Night City Police Department trying to keep the city in check. Sure, there's some corruption, but even so, a handful of diehard cops remain who genuinely believe in that old school motto, protect and serve. And I have to say, this difference is especially noticeable after Update 2.0, where police feels like it's on steroids and actually does what it's supposed to. Police actively fire on the player's car, roadblocks appear at moderate levels, and max stack arrives at higher star levels. Escaping police requires breaking line of sight, and cops will comb the surrounding area if you disappear. So I guess Night City's government finally boosted NCPD's budget? Maybe Night City's citizens, despite all the chaos, have a surprising edge. They live in a place where opportunity and thrill coexist at every turn, where their most basic necessities are met. And perhaps there simply isn't anything more to life than that. It's indeed a violent world, ruthless and unforgiving also, but if we redefine happiness as freedom to live on your own terms, then Night City offers something most places don't. Maybe Ray has the answer. Somewhere out there, he's waking up, brewing a coffee, dodging ceiling panels, and getting ready to live the happiest life in the world all over again. If you think we've only begun to uncover the secrets of this incredible universe, smash that like button to show your support. And don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because I've got even more deep dives into the Cyberpunk universe coming your way soon. That being said, thank you guys for watching and stay safe.